Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So apparently Donald Trump blew it. He went into the lion's den at the NABJ, only to get totally humiliated and embarrassed. You know, that's what the leftoids were telling us yesterday on X. How will Trump's image survive this? Oh no, a couple left-wing journalists were mean to him during a public event. It's over for the Trump crowd. They want you to accept that narrative. You notice what's going on, right? They're taking little things like J.D. Vance said one thing about cat ladies and trying to blow it out of proportion. They're trying to make it seem as if it's something that's so horrible you can't possibly associate yourself with it. And conservatives are running scared, totally allowing the Democrats to dictate the conversation. I don't know about you guys, but I won't feed into any of it. Trump showing at the NABJ wasn't a bad look for him. It was the same look that we saw with that CNN town hall that Caitlin Collins hosted, essentially par for the course. We gotta have a conversation about this because some of the stuff I'm seeing online is frankly just bothering me. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I'm paying attention to all the segments, and I keep seeing nonsense like this.
Donald Trump blew it, and the happiest person in the country tonight is Kamala Harris. Because she's sitting there cackling. Look at this. Yeah, look at this. Look at Trump. He's just alienated millions of black voters who aren't going to really get what happened there. The broadside against Kamala Harris was that she's a phony, that she used one bit of ethnicity to do this, one bit to do that. But Trump didn't articulate it.
Donald Trump blew it. It was the worst thing ever. Kamala Harris is so happy. It's such a bad thing. Donald Trump just alienated millions of black voters. What is this idiotic nonsense that I'm listening to? And look, excuse me if you're a Bill O'Reilly fan, but this guy obviously has no idea what he's freaking talking about. First of all, alienating millions of black voters. Is that really his political analysis? As if the GOP, as if Donald Trump has millions of black voters to alienate? Yeah, that's not the way it works. 90% of black voters are already voting for Democrats. Oh, the journalist attacked Donald Trump as a racist. It's totally over for him. Who is coming up with these takes? The freaking DCCC? Why would any conservative in their right mind have this kind of reaction? You know, there's really not much to lose and a whole lot to gain if you think about it. You know, Trump showing up at this event, in my view at least, there was a whole lot to gain and not much to lose. And the idea that Trump was going to show up there and be treated with kid gloves and be allowed to woo the audience and win over the black vote, well, obviously that was never going to happen. So there's only one other option. Stand your ground and plant a couple seeds. And that's exactly what Trump did. Trump went on that stage and planted some seeds of doubt relating to Kamala Harris's cultural authenticity. And that right there might actually have an impact. I'm seeing a whole lot of people on X questioning whether Kamala Harris is actually authentic in her identity. It's already started. The topic of conversation isn't Trump. You know, people aren't really talking about Trump's supposed failure. They're talking about what he said. I'm literally seeing hundreds of black Americans now questioning Kamala Harris's identity on X. The reaction hasn't been what the Democrats are trying to force here.
She's a DEI high. She was high because she was a woman and because she was a woman of color. And she started calling herself black. Then this interview was talking about, well, she always called herself black. You telling her because Kamala Harris called herself whatever she need to call herself to get whatever vote she need to get. Kamala Harris has been an Indian woman when she was running up there in California. She became a black woman when she was running for VP and she needed the black vote. I'm a black woman and I'm not voting for either. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris and I'm not voting for the Democratic Party, and it is what the is.
You know, sure, you have Trump haters who already hate him. They watched the Donald walk into the lion's den and obviously they scratched him up a little bit, and those people are going to cheer it on. Oh, Trump's getting destroyed. But you got other people who are looking at the nuance. You know, they're thinking to themselves, maybe Kamala Harris is really playing us. I mean, now all of a sudden, as people are questioning Kamala Harris's authenticity, all the clips are playing nonstop all over X.
What were you listening to when you was high? What was on? What song was
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, definitely Snoop. Tupac.
California's Kamala Harris is the first Indian American U.S. Senator.
And California's Attorney General Kamala Harris has scripted history as she won the U.S. Senate seat from the state, becoming the first Indian American to achieve this feat.
And certainly you could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Not good.
Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk. Or as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it. I said to the congressman, I didn't know he could preach like that. Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets, and let me tell you, as they say, they not like us.
So what we're going to cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
So we're both Indian, but actually we're both South Indian.
Yeah. I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman.
Kamala Harris, famously touted as an American Indian, here's a segment from CNN.
And her mother, Shamla Gopalan, was also the biggest influence in Kamala Harris's life. In her book, Harris says, "There is no title or honor on earth I'll treasure more than to say I am Shamla Gopalan Harris's daughter." Harris's visits to India with her mother kept her connected to her roots. There's no doubt that the primary source of learning for Senator Harris was from her mother's experiences and the conversations that she had with her maternal grandfather when she visited India, which was very often.
Is now essentially trying to market herself as a foundational black American who's down with the culture. All of a sudden, Quavo is talking about Kamala Harris being in the streets.
And you can't understand the struggles of gun violence if you're not in the field or in the heart of it. So one thing I learned about working with Vice President Harris is she always stand on business.
Megan Thee Stallion is twerking at Kamala Harris's rally. And I think it's causing a lot of people to take a step back and question, am I being played here? Is this authentic? Or is this all a show to pull me in to vote?
I keep seeing the Megan Thee Stallion TikToks from that concert, and I am still scratching my head. Are we living in the Twilight Zone or what? Having Megan Thee Stallion twerk is not going to fix our economy, and it's not going to stop illegal immigrants from flooding this country. But now Kamala is promising to fix the border that she has never even visited. She's in the White House right now. So if she wanted to do something about the border, she could. She's in a position to do so. I don't know if y'all are taking suggestions, but I have one. Why don't y'all go down to the border, put a concert on down there, maybe then you can raise enough money to finish rebuilding the wall. This is literally the worst border crisis in American history. Last thing I want to say is this. Please do not allow yourself to be influenced by gender, skin color, party, or ideology. Pick the candidate that you believe will move you forward and put your country back on track. Because from my vantage point, it is a complete and utter shit show.
That seems to be the conversation that's happening here. That seems to be the little seed that was planted. And honestly, I think that narrative will probably live a lot longer than the narrative that Donald Trump lost everything because 2 journalists were mean to him. No, I think once again it was viewed as a sign of courage. Trump goes where they're scared to go, and he obviously says what people are scared to say. And in this case, that's another concept that people are waking up to.
Every year, every presidential election cycle, we invite the presidential candidates to come. We extend that to anyone who is a nominee, and in this case, we have 2 presumptive nominees. We invited both of them. We got a yes from one of them. We'd love to get a yes from Kamala as well.
The NABJ invited both presidential candidates, but only one showed up. That should be the story, not this little partisan left-wing spin that these slick Democrats are trying to get away with. So I think a couple things are true. First off, Trump was right, and now the seeds of doubt relating to Kamala Harris have been planted. Trump once again proved to the world that he's scared and willing to have the tough conversations. And here's the last part, which I think is equally, if not even more important. The media once again exposed itself. We've gone through a week and a half of pro-Kamala propaganda. It's obvious to pretty much everybody what they're trying to do here, and now on the heels of it, they treat Trump in such horrible manner publicly.
You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Not even a hello or welcome, Mr. President. Just straight into ripping him and calling him a racist. The media once again exposed itself as totally in the pocket for the DNC. And I think, as per usual, that dynamic is going to end up alienating a whole lot of people. Of course, alienating them from the Democrats straight into Trump's arms. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.